Bamford finds himself 1v1 with Cody, and he just tries to fool the goalkeeper at that near post. He opens his body up like he's looking to find that far corner and just tries to whip it near. I think he would have got it right inside the post. I think he had done the goalkeeper with the eyes.
Well, it's given Leeds United encouragement. Bamford's run offside, so Forshall goes inside to Rodrigo. Rodrigo, who opened the scoring against Norwich last weekend, with a very good chance to do the same here. This is the Mexican Jimenez. Cody, scorer of the winner last weekend against Everton. He enjoyed that one, that's for sure. Hailing intercepting a lukewarm pass from Saiss. Now James, too high for Bamford.
In these early times of the game, they've had 3 or 4 opportunities, but they've won it in dangerous areas. Just that final finish or final passes let them down. Look at the 2 players come to the back post. Just overhits it. Dan
Got a little under it. And another warning shot across Leeds' bows.
You see the space they find themselves in there, and all the Leeds players come across. They can just make 2 or 3 passes. They can find space like that, and that's whether they then can deliver. Can they hurt Leeds from that situation? Goes for the acrobatic, really good delivery from Johnny.
Podence. James is down. Jesse Marsh pointing out to Kevin Friend. Rodrigo. James. Nice little touch from Moutinho, and here comes his compatriot Podence. Jimenez is on the move. They hunted in packs there, Leeds United, and have won it back. Harrison. From Cody. Neves. And Johnny. Landmark evening for him. The Spaniard who spent so long on the treatment table. 2 bad knee ligament injuries. But on the recovery trail again, and bringing up 100 appearances for Wolves here this evening.
Yeah, I mentioned before, he just got caught once in the middle of the pitch, but I just think of him, Coutinho, get their normal games going, make those clever passes, flipping in between the lines with a Dendoncker or Podence, and Dendoncker normally plays a little deeper. Looks like he's playing a little bit higher tonight.
Well, he's been at the peak of his powers, hasn't he, this season, Ruben Neves, particularly in recent weeks, and that would tend to back that up, that particular box of statistics.
I always think it was interesting when Ruben Neves came over, and no disrespect to Wolves, but I think the feeling was always he was going to sample the Premier League and then get his experience, and then one of the bigger boys, Champions League teams, would come in and take him. But he's been here ever since. Hasn't really looked like he was ever going to move on, but he has been a fantastic player for Wolves. He really has. That combination in midfield with himself and Coutinho.
Has he got enough about him for a Champions League club?
Yeah, I think he's real quality. I really do. I think he could play for any of those top teams, certainly in our league. There's no doubt for me.
Let's have a look as to how he picked up this knock.
Whether it was initial whack from the challenge or the way his foot just lands. Just now he's a little bit off balance. So hopefully it's not too bad. Don't want to lose a player of that quality from the game so early.
And he, like João Moutinho, due to head off with Portugal. It's World Cup playoff week, of course, next week, and Portugal, courtesy of losing at home to Serbia in their final group game, have to go through a treacherous-looking playoff path. They have a semi-final against Turkey, and then should they progress, and likewise Italy beat North Macedonia, then it's Portugal against Italy next week for a place in the World Cup in Qatar. Not always a regular starter for his country, but they would certainly want to have him on the plane. And if you were judging from the way he's jogging over, you'd say it's looking relatively positive he's going to be able to rejoin. You mentioned his future here. He is getting towards the last couple of years of his contract, and whereas others have committed their future, he's yet to agree a new deal here. João Moutinho likewise. There's talk and discussion as to whether he will be offered another deal. He's a little older, of course, 10 years older than his compatriot in the Wolves midfield. Volley meant that. Neves update, he's down on this near side, so they're still missing a man, but Moutinho seeking to find Jimenez. Neves signalling he wants to come back on. They might need him. Rodrigo, lovely ball there in towards James, who couldn't bring it under control.
Lovely pass, he's onside. Just gets in behind Conor Cody. Just can't control it forward. Touch on the thigh, just takes him backwards. Allows the defender to get back in. There's been plenty of threat from both teams going forward. Certainly no thought of trying to soak up some pressure for Leeds, the position that they find themselves in.
Just to go back to the importance of that first goal in the games in which Wolves had featured in the Premier League this season, the side that have got the first goal have gone on to win 23 of 26 of them. 3 of the others of their 29 have been goalless draws. Hence the importance. Bamford stumbling offside anyway.
Yeah, he's limping there, Bamford, and that's not from the situation now. I noticed that a minute ago. When Neves came back on the pitch, he looked like he was just hobbling and limping round. You see him even now, just before he makes that run. Oh, it's very tight. It's just offside. Yeah, it's not to do with the challenge here or anything. He's been limping like that for the last, as I say, couple of minutes. That will be a blow for Leeds, it really will.
Given the wretched season he's had with his injury record, you really hope that this isn't another long layoff or even the end of his season. We won't speculate on that, but it's certainly the end of his evening. And both sides losing players. The player that Leeds are going to send on is a 19-year-old England under-20 player. He's actually in Andy Edwards' squad for the up-and-coming internationals over the next fortnight against Poland and Germany. Just a second Premier League appearance for him, Sam Greenwood.
I mean, this looks like his ankle. He's coming off. I think that's an injury he's had before this season, so hopefully not a recurrence of something, and hopefully not too bad. But Sam Greenwood on. I must say I'm surprised Gelder hasn't come on.
Patrick Bamford needs some consoling. He cares so passionately. The road back has been fraught with setbacks for him. And there's another big bump in the road. Just going back to what you were saying about Gelhardt. Gelhardt did pick up a back injury towards the end of the game, whether it was in the celebrations or somehow, but he hasn't been training fully this week. I wonder whether that has some part in the thinking.
Yeah,
he's
well,
not
maybe
sent on for, what, over an hour?
Yeah, maybe that's it. He's a special talent, there's no doubt. It's not just players who've been getting injured in the last few days. I'm celebrating managers as well.
Frank Lampard, yeah. Well, just as at Ellen Road last Sunday, the celebrations at the full-time whistle at Everton, the late drama there last night. Both sides very similarly placed now as a result of that at the bottom of the Premier League table, with giant clubs in a precarious situation. Trincao. Neves is still out there, but I don't think he's going to be out there for too much longer. Injury striking for both Leeds and Wolves here. And sometimes these sort of situations, although obviously it casts some question on Ruben Neves' involvement with the national side. In terms of the shape of Wolves here, looks like it's going to force them a little more into the front foot. Trincao will certainly step up, and Dendoncker will go in alongside Moutinho by the look of things.
Yeah, you never want a player of that quality coming off, but actually the way Wolves was set up, certainly with Dendoncker in that position, and Dendonker's one of those players I think every manager loves, plays so many roles in this Wolves team, but it does feel a bit more natural with Trincao in that position, and Dendoncker a little bit deeper. See sort of that 5-2-3, as we've seen a lot under the new Wolves manager this season.
I know a lot of the Wolves supporters feel this is their most effective, certainly their most exciting lineup. Whether it can produce the breakthrough here, we shall see. We're past the halfway point of the first half, punctuated by those recent injuries. And Trincao straight into the thick of things. He's got three in the middle to try to pick out. He does pick one. It's Johnny, and it's 1-0. Well, what an instant impact from the substitute Trincao. And Johnny, on his 100th appearance for Wolverhampton Wanderers, has given them the lead.
Well, in these early stages, you feel you're still like watching Bielsa's Leeds. Very aggressive on the ball, spacing behind. And he just doesn't see that run over the far side. He's not offside. Dallas on that far side. And that's where the Trincao can deliver. Not tight enough in the box. And he just uses the pace of the ball there, Johnny. He's the right wing back, but he finds himself in a great position. And it's just, can he find that far corner? As I said, he uses that pace on the ball. It's a fantastic finish. Well, you felt a goal was coming at any end. Being so open this game. Surprised it's taken so long.
Johnny on the spot. And just as we discussed, players who had to leave with injury, so it will mean a lot to him, a player who has spent so long on the sidelines himself over the last 2 seasons. Just his 4th goal for the club, and his first since that restart period when he scored against Crystal Palace. That was back in July 2020. Well, he knew the importance of the first goal. Wolves knew the importance of the first goal. They have it. Leeds, for the record, yet to win in the Premier League this season when they have conceded first. And that is a far from untidy record for Wolverhampton Wanderers. One blip on the record, their recent defeat at Arsenal when they were picked off having taken the lead.
I said in the lead up to the goal, a lot of what I've seen here in this early part of the game is almost reminiscent a little bit of Bielsa at times. It's not man to man, but at times you're watching these players and they're just running all over the place. Just a couple of passes and they're getting cut open. That happened from very early on in the game. Fullbacks pressing people, and sometimes you've got to hold your position. You can't always press the ball, but you do feel for that lad, you really do. You feel for Leeds as well, with them having to come off, but the season he's had injury-wise, it's a little telltale sign also to supporters at times, how sometimes we question players when they're out injured, how much they care, how much they want to get back quickly as possible. It is a very, very lonely place for a player. We have a succession of injuries through a season.
Well, given that picture we've just seen, there's no questioning how much Bamford cares for Leeds United, how much these players all care. And a hell of an adventure. Marcelo Bielsa at the helm. He's gone. Jesse Marsh looking to build on the real shot in the arm they had with that win against Norwich, but with all due respect, that was against the lowest ranked side in the Premier League now. Up against a side here, 29 points rather, better off than Norwich in the table. And if the scoreline stays like this, they're playing against the side who will finish this evening in the top 6 of the Premier League. Saïs has taken a knock to the head there.
Greenwood definitely caught a bit of a whack to the side of the head. Young player trying to show he's not to be messed with. Bit of a nasty whack. He'll be fortunate to get away with a yellow card.
Most recently seen him in first team action when he actually started the FA Cup defeat at West Ham, which came just the week before the Premier League win at West Ham. Flick wins it back. James. Rodrigo. Hopeful, optimistic and wayward.
I'm still feeling that whack, it looks like. There we go from Greenwood. Also got to be very, very careful in these situations. Head injuries.
The Wolves medical staff, as the protocols go, will assess him if there's any doubts. They will get him out of there. There's the opportunity for a concussion substitute, of course. And in terms of the options on the bench, they've got Max Kilman, who could comfortably slot in there. Totti as well has played Premier League football in that back line. Marçal could easily slot in, so there are plenty of options. And there's Max Kilman. He's had a very good season. Slight disappointments in that he's recently been left out of the side, and there were hopes certainly in this part of the world that he might be on the radar for England and Gareth Southgate in the recent squad, but he fell a little short of that one.
Well, it's been a really steady part of Wolves' team, hasn't it? That back three, very consistent in terms of playing as well. They don't really seem to be out. We know Conor Coady plays so many games. Felt like Hillman was there for so long as well, and Bolly, if you go back a couple of years, always felt like he was part of the back three. That is what they build from.
And given the length of time that this is taking, given that it's not the first time that he's gone down as a result of the bang to the head, the layman's verdict would be that there is certain concern over this, and maybe it would be best to take him out of the firing line. Well, Kilman has played most of the season on the right of that back three, but he is a left footer. Well, this is where I think we'd really like to see the ability that he's able to come off and maybe sit for 10 minutes, someone come on in his place, and then if he's okay to come back on. But, if that is to be a protocol, it's certainly not one that's in place at the moment, and Saïs back out there.
Yeah, well, he got that whack off Greenwood, and initially Greenwood went right through the middle. There's been a swap with Dan James, he's now gone central. Greenwood's come to this right side.
For sure. So he's certainly alert enough to cut that one out. Strout comes out to block. And if you have just joined us and wondering why you would have heard the name Calvin Phillips and Liam Cooper and perhaps seen pictures of them arriving at the ground, they are here, but Jesse Marsh saying earlier that their contribution today will be no more than 15 or 20 minutes at the end. They're here as part of the party, as very much part of the leadership group that Jesse Marsh has focused on to try and get the best out of this group early on in his reign here. Aït Nouri touching to Pedence. This is Ayling. Well, sensing they can win it back and doing so, but only temporarily. Now the goal scorer, Johnny.
Big problem for Leeds is the switch of play. They go so narrow when the ball's on one side, and that's the way Jesse Marsh sets up. That's his history as a coach. Go back to his time and obviously part of it, you know, the Red Bulls, Leipzig, always pressing teams, really aggressive on the front foot. But they're so narrow on one side.
Coady able to make the block as Rodrigo tried to find Dan James in that central striking role. Well, not too many Premier League games this weekend, but we do have a Super Sunday offering for you. Tottenham against the Europa League quarter-finalists, West Ham United. That's from 4 o'clock on Sky Sports Premier League. Leon, wasn't it, that came out of the hat for West Ham today? Wolves desperate to taste a European adventure again, whatever sort it is, after they did so well. But of course they had to finish their European campaign behind closed doors. Is that part of that lockdown season, that marathon season, didn't they?
Yeah, just looking down at Leeds as full-backs. They really want to get after the wing-backs. But the way Wolves play, with that sort of front three, looking at Luke Aylan, he's desperate to get out to Ait-Nouri. At times he's leaving someone in between all the time, and they're just pressing what's in front of them so often.
Here's Cody. Well, there's more movement down on that Leeds bench, and Robin Koch is going to come on before too long.
Yes, Llorente just looked at the bench. That's what I'm talking about. Luke Aylan find himself in no man's land trying to press.
Saiz Trincao tried to play it blind and towards John. You've made that run inside.
Well, that's the message from the manager, to go and press. I'm sure it is.
Well, Trincao making a real difference since he's come on. Jimenez trying to open things up. Leeds creaking and surviving just about. So the men in old gold will come again. Trincao got enough on it from Dallas. It's found Podence. Tries a bit of trickery, but Strauch able to sweep away.
They've been a lot stronger defensively under Jesse Marsh than they certainly have been under Bielsa. Not just in terms of goals conceded, but also their XG and chances they give up. But they look like you can really get after them in this game. Maybe haven't given up huge chances. It just looks dangerous every time I'm looking down. Sometimes players, yeah, you get a message from the manager, but sometimes you have to judge it yourself on a pitch. Should I close? Should I just change the direction and be pressing as well?
Yeah, you said it earlier, it was almost like their determination to force the issue by attacking early on. They forgot to keep the door closed. Well, door might open here because Rodrigo's foul, clipped by Moutinho.
Yeah, there's probably two fouls there. And Duncan and Moutinho. It's not perfect roll, really, that free kick, but seeing the change for Leeds again, not ideal.
Well, the fates are certainly not being kind to them. Rafinha missing with COVID, Bamford off injured, likewise Llorente, so that's two of their three substitutes on the evening enforced before half-time. And the player they would dearly love to have on there for this situation, not travelling with the group. So it's not Rafinha. They'll leave it for Greenwood. Certainly he wants to lay claim, the teenager.
Oh, I love that. I'm taking it. Go on, son.
Greenwood takes into the Wolves wall. Might not get the next one. Dallas. Greenwood popping it up, seeking Dallas. Jimenez. Ait-Nouri. Restored to the side this evening ahead of the more experienced Marçal. Nice flick from Trincao. Ait-Nouri getting the rub of the green, and Ayling getting the head back to Meslier. Johnny. Millier. 66 goals conceded for him now in the Premier League this season. Ayling. Jimenez looking to spin away from Strout, colliding with Koch, and both may well need treatment here. He's got his card out, Kevin Friend.
He just lunges in, Jimenez. I'm sure he takes a whack as well. Just thinks he can get there. He just catches his leg across the player. As he catches him where I'm stood, he may have a bigger problem than just the yellow card.
Foreshot. Klich. Rodrigo.
We've had a lot of situations like that, Leeds. Oh.
Well, Nouri felt he'd played it off the onrushing Leeds player, but the assistant on this near side, Simon Beck, has given the throw in the other way. Not a universally popular decision here with anyone of a Wolves persuasion.
I think the referee and linesman will know they've got that one wrong right now. Just see that touch there. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little free kick given to Wolves here.
Here's Greenwood, in by Ayling. Klich. Johnny giving Jimenez a chase. And he's there, ahead of Koch. He eases him out of the way. No foul. If the referee didn't see it, then the assistant certainly did. And another decision going Leeds' way.
He does really well initially here, Jimenez, and I think he's just actually just moving that quickly, just a little touch from Koch just sent him flying.
There will be a minimum of 8 minutes.
Well, plenty of minutes tagged on as a result of the injuries in the first half.